On behalf of the South Windsor Chamber Marketing Committee. It's great to see you. We, the panelists, are all members of the Chamber who work with businesses of varying sizes. And if I haven't already said, you're at the marketing workshop. So if you were looking for Finance 101, that's in a different hall. The Chamber is offering a series of presentations and workshops that businesses can learn from and put to use in their own marketing work. We will not be selling any products or services, but instead sharing our knowledge to help you in your businesses. That being said, we welcome direct inquiries about our businesses and any services that we can offer to you. You don't have to be a chamber member to attend, although hopefully by the time this series is over, you will want to be a chamber member. Small to medium-sized businesses will benefit the most, especially those who do not have a dedicated marketing department. The topic discussions will be aimed at beginner and intermediate level marketers. And now I'm going to I'm going to introduce myself and then give the rest of the panelists an opportunity to introduce themselves. I'm John Barber. I own CHH Engraving Promotional Marketing. We help businesses and organizations identify their staff and volunteers, promote their programs and products, and recognize those who have helped them to achieve success through the creative and cost-effective use of decorated products, commonly known as tchotchkes. I believe that we'll be going around again because we're going to be sharing some key terms in our industry and also some favorite apps. But before we get to that, I'm going to introduce Marietta St. Ange.
Hi, everyone. I am Marietta St. Ange.
Wrong button.
That's okay. You took my video away.
I know, I hit the wrong button.
That's okay. Right. So you know what? You absolutely.
There you are.
You're absolutely going to make everybody remember who I am. So that's a great thing. I don't mind that.
Very good.
So I'm Marietta St. Ange. I actually am the owner of St. Ange Portrait. I have been a professional photographer for over 28 years. Past president of the Connecticut Professional Photographers Association. I've been a member of that for about 28 years. And I'm going to be presenting 2 programs through this series. I'm very honored that they asked me to do this. One of them is going to be on headshots and your bios. And then the other one is on LinkedIn. So one of the things that I just want you to think about before you get to my headshot and bio program is you have 7 seconds when you're making an introduction for people to remember who you are. 7 seconds, because we have so many things going on now. Like way back 20 years ago, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have video blogs. We didn't have any kind of distractions. So it was the old-fashioned handshake, meeting face to face, and you were able to sell yourself that way. Now people hop on a Zoom meeting and you sit there and you're like, oh, hey, you know, I mean, because I can talk for a long time. It's one of my passions. So, but if I'm not saying anything, you're going to get distracted. You're going to shut off your video and you're going to sit there and do something else. You're going to multitask. We're all famous for multitasking. So in my headshot and bio program, I'm going to show you what kind of an impact a good headshot makes. And that's not to say that it's always going to be something that's, you know, professional in a suit and tie. It's what it says about you and your business, you know, and what role you're playing. And then the other one is for LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a place where you have to stand out. There's over 350 350 million professionals on that network. And if you don't know how to stand out, you're going to get lost. And you do have to post your content like religiously, because that's where people are going to keep seeing your posts. Otherwise, it's going to get buried. So that's a little bit about the classes that I'm going to be talking about. And I apologize. I'm going to kind of go through everything that I have to, because I got a job slammed right onto me and I have to leave at 3:30. I apologize. But I'm so happy to see all of you here. And it's great to see everybody's face and to meet new people. I love meeting new people. I love making connections. So one of the things for a marketing term that I love is blogging. You know, a lot of people think that blogging is dead. It is not. Blogging is a way that you can express yourself and your business and make people want to keep coming back to see what you're going to say the next week or the next day, however often you blog. Blogging is a place that you want to be personal. You don't want it to be very, you know, business-like and standoffish. So if I'm selling insurance, you know, I could sit there and I could quote and say like, well, homeowners insurance could be blah, blah, blah. But instead, if I said, you know, fire, and then went into the story about how this person had their home, you know, taken away by fire, but you were there as the insurance agent and you actually helped them rebuild. People are going to come back because they're going to want to see how you've helped other people the next time. So you have to make it personal. You have to make it interesting. And it's all about the connection with blogging. The other term that I wanted to share with you is something to help you keep your business organized and also save you time. And it's a customer relationship management software system. So basically what it is, there's a lot of them out there. Some of the key names are like Keep or Monday, Salesforce. I use one called Honeybook, and it's more for the creative community. And what it does is it keeps me organized. So it's all my database, it's all my invoicing, it's all my price lists, it's my contracts, my proposals, all my emails with my clients are all stored in one spot under that client, so that if I have to go back and refer to something, I can find it instead of having to go into my business email and search. Everything's right there. So those are my two favorite terms for marketing. And then we wanted to come up with a couple of different apps that might save you some time. And one of them, did I just get beeped at?
Not by me.
Okay. One of them is, hang on a second, Clubhouse. All right. Who's heard of Clubhouse? Raise your hand. Anybody? Clubhouse? Okay. Liliana's heard of it. Corin's heard of it. All right. Nobody else has their pictures on. So, all right. Clubhouse is a fantastic place to network with people, not just in your community, not just in your network, but worldwide. Clubhouse, unfortunately, is only for iPhone. And don't get me started on that. So I specifically had to go out and like upgrade my kids' iPhones so that I could take my son's old iPhone and get myself on Clubhouse, because it's literally a place where you can create a room and you can talk about something in your business that is interesting. So I had the president of our national association created a room, and she started talking about photographers as historians. And it's a place where, and it's only audio, it's not visual. So basically you're just sitting there listening. You can raise your hand and people will pull you into the room and you can ask a question. And there are people that are in these rooms, and this is what made Clubhouse famous, was that Elon Musk was actually doing a room in Clubhouse, and he pulled somebody in the room, and that person was then talking to Elon Musk. Think about it. What a great way to make a connection. So Clubhouse is one of my favorites. And then Tailwind is another favorite for me because it saves me time, because I do a lot of posting to Instagram and Pinterest, being a photographer. And that app, actually, I can go in, I can schedule all of my posts, and I can post every single day for like 3 times a day, and I don't have to do the work. Tailwind does it for me. I just schedule everything, you know, once a week, put all my content in there, and I'm done. So that's me.
Well, thank you, Marietta.
You're welcome.
And I failed to announce, we've kind of been doing this on the fly. But if you have questions, and I'm sure that we already have questions and we've only had one presenter, put them in the chat, please, and we will get the questions at the end of the session. Next up is Liliana, and let's see if I can do this right. And there you go.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Liliana. I am a marketing specialist. I have been working in marketing for the last, I think, 18 years. Originally, I graduated from marketing and advertising. So basically, we need to reinvent it ourselves with all the changes that marketing had in the last years. I'm the owner of Inno Market. Inno Marketing is a marketing agency. And here in South Windsor, we do strategic marketing, digital marketing, city marketing. We also do some video production, social media content, branding, any of the marketing requirements, and also kind of like marketing coaching for people of startups. Out of that, what else we have to do right now? It's I will be talking in our seminars of 2 topics. One is the first one that we're going to have on the group, and it's going to be about how to build your marketing plan. What is very interesting about this is, first, we need to know that the marketing plan is a completely different thing of the business plan. It's part of the business plan, but it's not the same. So that is what we are going to be talking about, what marketing plan is, how to build it, which are the parts of the marketing plan that you need to take care. So we are going to talk about the business information, all the goals that you have with your business. It doesn't matter if it is services or if it is products, retail products. We're going to know how to make a competitive analysis, also all this SWOT analysis, identify your strengths, your weakness, opportunities, threats. We are going to explain how you will be marketing to your target market. Then the buying cycle, how, when, and where your buyers are going to buy. And this is very important now with the online presence that every business needs to have. Then we're going to have the unique selling proposition. So explain what differentiates you from your competition. Then a little bit about brand, how to create your brand, how to build your brand, and knowing that a brand is not a logo. The brand is a lot more than a simple logo. Of course, we are going to talk a little bit about a website, but that is part of a next seminar, and all the different marketing channels that business are using now. So that is a little bit of what we are talking about on that first seminar. After that, together with John, we are going to be talking a little bit about branding, or get more deeply into branding. John will also explain you a little bit more about that. So it will be really a pleasure to have you all joining in these seminars, and I hope these will be very helpful for you. And actually, I want to thank all the other panelists for joining us in the chamber and helping putting this together. I hope it will be a great experience for all of us.
Thank you, Liliana. And Jill McAllister.
Hi, everyone. I agree, Liliana. We are so happy to have everyone here, and hopefully you find great value out of our workshops we'll be leading. My name is Jill McAllister, and I own Tancha Marketing Agency here in South Windsor. We offer a range of marketing services such as graphic design, print projects, website design, publicity, social media campaigns, and content copywriting for websites, blogs, and email marketing. We specialize in helping you figure out which marketing activities you should be doing at your stage of your business and how to do them effectively within your budget. We sometimes act as an outsourced marketing department for businesses that may not be large enough or have the resources to have dedicated marketing staff. Sometimes we're just hired on a project basis, such as website content management or direct mail campaigns. The 2 marketing workshops I'll be leading is writing for marketing and also email marketing. Writing for marketing can be as short as 3 high impact words on a social post. It could be easy to grasp content on a brochure. It could be a 400-word blog with keywords that can help with your search engine optimization. Or it could be a how-to manual or an ebook where you really delve into your expert subject matter. So we're going to cover what's important in the wording based on where you're putting your information, and we'll throw a little grammar in. There are certain cases where you need to have perfect grammar, so we'll cover some top issues there. This will be more interactive, where anyone that wants to attend, I'm going to ask if you could send me a paragraph or something that you've written for your business that maybe you want critiqued or have the group work on for you, or maybe there's something you're trying to write and you've just really stumbled on how to write it. So if anyone wants help that way, we can work with you in the workshop on that. And then the second workshop is related to writing in a way. It's email marketing. It's another way that you can distribute your content. And I wanted to let you know that I've been a certified constant contact solutions provider for many years. And so that means I get this nifty hat with their logo on it. But it also means that I attend every year I go through a training course of theirs and get certified that I understand the materials. It's about their products, but it's also about best practices. And so they really have a great program for solution providers like me. The email marketing workshop will not be exclusive to people that use Constant Contact. It's not going to try to sell you Constant Contact. It's really going to be more about generalized information about what makes email marketing work, what kind of things you need to consider to do your own email marketing. And I think that's it. We're going to go around again later to discuss some more things. So thank you.
Thank you, Jill. And next up is James.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, for everyone for putting this together, and it's pretty exciting to have such an audience. So my name is James Babcock. I'm the owner of New Height Creative. I'm originally based out of Maine, and then as more of the business has been down in Connecticut, we've done most work down here now. So typically we begin as an external marketing support, and then look to develop into a full service internal marketing department to really fit the needs and the size, the appropriate size of the business. Like to get to know core employees, decision-making processes and things of that nature to really hone in and yield maximize your return, maximize return on your investments. We do things such as web development, pay-per-click, social media campaigns. We do print design, email hosting services, web hosting services, minimal IT services even for that, as there is some overlap. My background is in economics and environmental science, and I've been doing marketing originally in the fuel industry, started about 12 years ago and launched my own company 5 years ago. And I'm mostly self-taught on all things coding and graphic design. And we do, have additional people working when some things are beyond my artistic capabilities, which don't stretch too far. So with that being said, the couple of the terms I wanted to just define I'm sorry, I'm going to go first. I think the topics I'm going to be covering are, one is Google My Business. We've said that I think that's a full-length seminar worth it to every business. And even if you have your business listed, there's quite a bit to learn and to leverage there by using Google Your Business. Google My Business is what it's called, really. So, and secondly is we're going to have a seminar on web optimization, web presence, and that could go on forever. So, I'm hoping if there's any questions, from today that you'd like to have really touched upon as it relates to your web presence, whether it's your website, social media listings, send us over a question now so we can make sure we hit on that. And those will both be in July, I believe July 8th, and then 2 weeks after that. So the two terms I'd like to define today are pay-per-click. I think people hear it, PPC, you might, but it's really a model of internet marketing in which advertisers view the business generally pay a fee, and that's a set fee in a lot of cases that you're willing to pay for someone for which someone will click on and drive customers to your website. And there is sometimes bidding associated with that. And then secondly is content management system. And that is computer software used to manage the creation and modification of digital content, typically used for enterprise. And then what we most commonly use it for in I think small businesses is web content management. And that's, what a lot of people hear the term WordPress. How's my site built? It's on WordPress. WordPress is a content management system. Same thing with Joomla and Wix, things of that nature. So with that being said, am I sending it back to John here?
You can do that if you'd
All
like.
right, that's a safe play.
All right, thank you, James. I hope your folks are staying with us. I know we're putting a lot of information out and it is kind of one directional at this point. It's not always going to be that way, and look forward to your questions. For the second round, each of us has a term or a couple of terms that are unique to perhaps our part of marketing that we're going to share very quickly and define. And then if we have an app or two that we wanted to share for you to take away. Mine term is camera ready art or vector art. In our industry, the promotional products industry, that where we print on product, we need good, clean, crisp camera ready or vector art, normally in a Adobe Illustrator, a .ai or .eps file. And I won't get into what EPS stands for and so forth, but the gist of camera ready or vector art is that much art, photographs, what have you, are created by little dots on a surface, and there's spaces between the dots. And so if you take something and enlarge it, then the dots get distorted, the spaces, become blank. It's just not clean and crisp. Whereas vector art is a mathematical formula, so that if you give me something that's 2 inches in diameter and you want it on the back of a t-shirt, 12 inches in diameter, it can be enlarged and not lose any quality or clarity. So that's my first term, and the other one is Pantone or PMS colors. I'm a veteran in the business. I've been doing it for 30 years or more. And I can remember when you used to have choices of ink colors of red, blue, green, maybe a couple or three blues, navy blue, royal blue, reflex blue. Now you have all kinds of shades and variations, and basically the Pantone system or PMS number is something that guarantees that you are going to get the color that you want, that is your brand, that is your corporate identity. Just a quick case in point, Bay State Medical Center has a cross, and part of the cross in their logo is blue, but it is very emphatic that to not conflict with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, their cross has to be PMS 5405. So those are my two terms. I really don't have any favorite apps, so I will pass this along to Marietta's already given hers. So Liliana.
Thank you, John. Yeah, actually, I want to talk about two marketing terms that I think are very important for any person who has a business or who is investing in marketing efforts. The first one is the MROI, or the marketing return of investment. Why is this important? Is because you need to know if you are having a return that is good for the amount of money that you're investing in your marketing efforts. So what is important is it doesn't matter if you are putting the advertising by yourself or you're hiring an agency or a marketing specialist. It's good that you know how to calculate these marketing return on investment to see if you are really making an investment and not just wasting your money. So the easiest way to calculate this is first, let's take care that you will have different kind of metrics. Most of them are going to be leads and are going to be important data for your marketing strategy. But financially, there is just one metric and one formula that will help you to get your MROI, and it is you have to take the sales growth from that business or product that you have, and then subtract the marketing cost, and then divide by the marketing cost, and then you will have exactly if your marketing efforts are bringing you profit or not. We will see more in depth when we get our marketing plan. And the second term is SEO, or search engine optimization. I'm sure that Jamie will go more in depth with that term on his talk, but that is important right now because mostly every single business has online presence. So with that being said, it's very important that you have a good strategy or SEO strategy so your business can be found on the website. So those are my two terms. And then I have two apps that I think that maybe are going to be very useful for you guys. I will show you the first one. It's called Reface. Let me see. Okay, so this is the app. You can see it's in the App Store and also on the Google Play Store. It's called Reface Swap Videos. It's a very interesting app for any type of entrepreneur or small business, or if you want to like a nice presence on your social media, because you can make funny videos, you can promote products, you can make mockups, you can do filters for your pictures, and it has like a free version, and also it has a paid version. It's really, really easy to use. You just import your pictures or your videos over there, and then you can play and get like awesome results. And the other app that I will suggest for people who like to post mostly on Instagram or on Facebook is called When to Post. So it's also an app that you have in the Google Store and in the Apple Store. And what is good with this app is that you put your information there about which is your target market or which is your perfect audience. And this app will tell you the best hours in the day for you to post. So you can schedule your posts, or you can post yourself, and you will get a better exposition to your target market. So that app is really, really useful. I will tell anybody that is in social media to give it a look. It's called When to Post. And I think that is my information. Thank you very much all for being here. And let's just respond to Quaron. He's asking how accurate is the When to Post app. And yeah, Quaron, I have been using that app maybe for 2 or 3 years. It's very accurate if you put the right information when you sign in. So at the moment that you sign in, you have to put all the information that app requests about your profile or the profile that you are going to be posting. And with that, is very accurate. And it has 2 versions, a free version and a paid version, depending on how big is your business or how much are you going to, it's not an expensive app. So if it is just to have the best hours, you can go with the free version. If you want a little bit of more tools or settings, then you can go with the paid one, but it's very accurate. So thank you very much. I go back to John.
Thank you, Liliana. And I wonder if you could put the apps in the chat so that I know I'm learning something today. And so thank you. And moving along to Jill.
Yes, and I was also going to say that if we have your email address, we are planning on emailing out links to the different things we're talking about. So if you want to drop it, your email address in the chat box, we can make sure we send those out to you as well. So I wanted to discuss 2 terms. The first one is content marketing, and content marketing is a strategy where you create and supply information for people who are apt to want your services. It's usually in the form of things like articles, blogs, checklists, anything that can teach or explain something or can be a useful guide for people. And you pick topics that are related to your field of your business. And by doing that, you attract the right people that might want your services. They're showing an interest by wanting to read what you've put out. And sometimes you can set it up so they have to download that valuable content for free, but you're able to capture their email address. The other thing it does is it displays that you have expertise in your area. So it might seem counterintuitive to give away your secrets, but it actually does the opposite. And content marketing sometimes is called, the pieces that you create are called magnets, because they do draw the people in that have an interest in your field. The second term is cause marketing. And this is another strategy. This is where you hitch a ride on a cause that might be relevant to your target audience, to your target market. So it's partly self-serving, but it can add an emotional and then a loyalty connection to your brand. So, and it certainly can be something that is close to your heart and not in a self-serving way, but it's different than doing a financial sponsorship. It's different than paying to have your banner put up at an event. It's not the same as doing a one-off food drive. It's really a component to your business and marketing plans. You might donate your professional time to that cause. You might be on a board of directors for that cause, but it becomes part of your business, and again, can really create some loyal connections to you. The first app that I want to share is called imagecolorpicker.com, right here. And John was talking about the PMS color system. These colors would be for online and print, which PMS needs to be translated into different codes in order to have the color match online. But so for this, what you do is you upload your image, and I find that I need to do this a lot. If I'm using one of my customers' logos, they have branded colors. And if I don't happen to know what their color codes are, if I don't have their brand palette, you upload whatever it is you're trying to match, and you just put the cursor on a certain color. So maybe I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation and I'd like to use a border that matches my orange butterfly. I click on it, and now I'm getting the hex code, which is that 6-digit code you use online. I get the RGB code, which for some reason isn't quite filling in right here. So depending on the platform you're working with, it's going to let you know what color code system it wants. And so you could make your PowerPoint match your logo, a little bit of do-it-yourself graphic design work. And then the other free app that I like to use is Photo Resizer by Promo, which is
Bill,
a video.
Your
Pardon?
screen isn't quite, I don't know if your screen is sharing. I think we missed that.
You're kidding. Oh, sorry.
I think a lot of people are interested in that color, in the color picker. So sorry to interrupt there.
I messed up. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. So I'll just go back quickly. So here's where I uploaded my logo to this app. And here's what I meant by putting the cursor on different things. I get the color codes over here that match, and you just record that, and now you can plug that into whatever platform you're working with. So I can get my blue, and it does some other nice things. It gives you a whole palette based on your colors. It can also show you different tones and hints, different shades and tints of your colors. So play around with that. It's imagecolorpicker.com. And then the other one, can you see this now? It says promo at the top.
Yep.
Okay, good. Thank you. So this is, it resizes an image if you want for different social media locations. So again, you upload your picture. I'm going to do my logo. And it lets you see if you've ever been frustrated trying to make your logo fit different places. This will help you see where it will work and what you might need to do to modify your logo. So for instance, my logo on Facebook works fine as my page cover, but it's not going to work well as a vertical post. It's also not going to work well as my profile image because the profile images on Facebook are square. So you can use their editor to try to either crop it a certain way. But the other thing you can do is, oh, that's the wrong thing. You can resize it that way, or you can realize my logo is horizontal and I need it to be square. So maybe I add some framing to it to turn it into a square image. But it goes through all these different places and where you could put the picture you have, and you can see what it'll look like, when it'll work, try to resize it so it'll fit. And that's promo.com image resizer.
I think Karan had a question about the color picker.
Yeah, I was wondering if with the color codes, I just want to make sure I had the understanding correctly. With the image color picker, you can upload your logo and go over a particular color, and it'll give you the actual color code. You can enter that into any platform that you're using, like Adobe or Canva or anything like that, or is it just specific platforms?
The hex code and RGB codes, and they also show you the CMYK codes. Those are universal. Okay. It's just that different platforms might allow you to use, one CMYK tends to be for print, whereas hex codes and RGB are for online. And so you may have your logo set up by your designer as CMYK. And so you want to see what it's going to look like or what code you might need to make it look the same on your website or in constant contact if you're doing an email template or Canva. You're right about that. So even your PowerPoint presentations, you can determine, you can plug in what code you want the color to be. And so this is a way for you to identify what those codes should be.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you for the question.
James, did you have additional, I know you touched on,
I jumped the gun there, didn't I?
just a bit.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't paying attention earlier. Well, my apologies. I do have a couple apps that I would like to share. So first, and it kind of goes in hand, somewhat with Chills and the color picker, where you're looking to identify something that already exists, but you need to recreate it somehow. So with that, I'm going to share my screen here. Share. And we're going to go to this Google fonts. So say you have a logo and there's some text within it, and you're trying to recreate that logo or make something match that same font, but you can't figure out, it seems like billions of fonts. But so what you can do within Adobe, and I use Adobe Creative Cloud. It sounds like someone else is using this too. I use Illustrator for a lot of the pieces I make. So I have it is subscription based, but I believe to match a font, this portion is free. So here, what I would do is upload a JPEG or PNG file. I just have this higher local, so I've already uploaded it. What I'll do here is select the text that I'm really honing in on, and then covering this up. Next step, here it is. It's going to tell me, it's going to confirm that that's what I'm looking to match. Next step. And then it's going to pull me a list of available fonts within Adobe. And as you can see, there's endless, there's quite a few options here, and you can, visually make, a very close match. And generally, Adobe, a lot of people have used that to create from, originally, whether it's a truck logo, it's a billboard, it's the logo someone made for you 10 years ago, and you just have no idea where that person is. This is, a good place that you can start if you're just looking, if that's something you want to do yourself. So I do use this quite frequently, and it's been very helpful. And then the other app that I use quite regularly, and I'll touch more on it later, is the Google My Business app. And this is great on the phone too. Almost just as functional as the case with most apps nowadays. But this is where you manage your listing. Oh, sorry, trying to hide this thing. And this listing here on the right-hand side of the screen, where you see, where you want to get directions somewhere. This is all managed through Google My Business, and it's free. It's fantastic, and it's probably one of the most important things a business should have if they provide any local services. So you can have posts there. One of the most important things is having your info listed, and about 85% of all searches happen on Google. So if you're not here, you really should be, and you should be managing it probably better than we've managed the chamber one so far. But this is where you can ask people to review your business, and in turn, you with good reviews, positive or negative, you can manage them here, respond to all positive, negative reviews, and receive messages, upload photos, list products, which really only helps with what people can find you for. So those are my two apps that I find invaluable.
Can I ask a question, James?
I hope, sure.
So you can do this yourself, right? You don't have
Absolutely.
to pay. Okay.
Google My Business is, yeah, free. You know, because if people are using Google to search, Google generates all the revenue from advertisements. So they want people to have a good search experience. And in turn, people will continue to go to Google for search. So that's how they make their money. So, to list your business is free. You can also, from here, am I sharing my screen still?
Yes.
There's a much more robust advertisement section, but you can easily from here create your first Google ad as well. And those all come up there. So this portion of it, and having your listing listed within the map pack, Google Maps, is all free, included right here.
I just wanted to give you an opportunity to emphasize that, because I don't know about other people, other businesses, but we are constantly receiving a telemarketer and robocalls wanting to update our Google listing. You don't need to buy their services.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's free, and if you haven't claimed your listing yet, I think it takes a phone number or an address, and they send you a postcard within 2 days, and you call with a 6-digit confirmation code, and boom, it's done, and it's yours. You own that business. You should own that listing as well. It's one of the first things I recommend doing as a business if you're providing any local services.
Thank you.
Why don't
Thank
we
you.
move on to the questions now? Because it looks like there's a few and we don't want to run out of time for that.
Actually, I want to respond to MJ. She made like a couple questions about the marketing plan. So the first question she made is, how do we know which marketing will work for our business and where do we start? So I think that is what the marketing plan is for. So in the marketing plan, we will figure it out first, which is your target market and which is your audience. And based on that, we can determine which are the best marketing efforts, marketing channels, and what you can focus to be successful. So that is a very good question, because basically that tells you why the marketing plan is so important in any type of business. It doesn't matter if it is a small business or a big business. And then I think she asks and says, I had my business for many years with word of mouth marketing. I'm not very tech savvy. And what is the first step? So first, I would like to say that the word of mouth marketing is still very effective marketing, and I think it will always be, because we're human beings and you will trust what your friend or your family tell about something or about a business. That will give you that big confidence in the product. So the word of mouth is always going to be an effective marketing. But yeah, you will need to figure it out where to put your marketing efforts once you get your target audience and you know to whom your business is focused on. And right now with the technology, things change so much, because there's a lot of business that don't even have a front store. So basically your online presence becomes your front store. So you need to have, in the same way as you have before you open your business, you to be careful that everything is perfect in your store to open the doors. When you don't have a front store and you have just an online presence, you have to be sure that your online presence is perfect before launching that. So that, I think, is why it's so important to have a very clear and good marketing plan and a branding plan. So yeah, I think the first step, as she said, is coming to the seminar about how to build your marketing plan, and then you will get all that first step done.
And if I could just tag on to that, MJ, the fact that your business has done so well with word of mouth, to translate that into technology is the same as getting reviews, getting these happy customers to give you reviews or testimonials that you can put on your website, because a lot of shoppers now, no matter what they're looking for, whether even when you get a referral, you're getting looked at online, and people really value reviews.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be afraid of every now and then getting a bad one, because the good ones are no different than a word of mouth referral. So you may be ahead of the game there with being able to jump on that strategy.
Can I ask a
Right.
question instead of typing it?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, so I've had this business, I haven't used it diligently or as much as I could in the last 10 years, but my business plan has changed where I used to make wedding gowns and dresses and alterations and everything. I'm still going to do that, but my marketing, which is why I want to do online, is more small products that I can sell online. And then there's another part of it of teaching online. And then the other part is to give back to the community, which is one, repurposing clothing, and two is the people giving me clothing from, like, who, for instance, a couple of women retired from the Travelers and gave me like 25 beautiful $300 suits. And what I'd like to do with them is for those who are going into the workforce or who cannot afford to purchase those items can come to me. We'll pick out 3 outfits, I'll alter them, and I'll have people funding to pay for the dry cleaning for that. So the person will not have to pay for anything. So there's 3 parts of the business.
That's cause marketing right there that I mentioned earlier.
And that's why I asked about the marketing, because it's the online marketing is so fast for me. My first major is art. So I understand all of the fonts, all of the, I hated lettering class, the coloring, the photography side of it, changing how things are. So this is very helpful to me. It's just, I mean, I don't even have a logo. So I have a name, but I don't have a logo. And I mean, I could, but I don't know if it's the right one. And so I think that stepping in, I mean, this is all really good information. I going to continue with the rest of the seminars. It's just, I'm afraid to jump in, as Liliana knows, because there's so many parts and I want it to be perfect.
Yeah,
That's my problem now.
There are definitely foundational marketing things that have to happen. I usually break it down into 3 stages, but your foundational, and this is where Liliana's session on a marketing plan, everybody's at a different point in their marketing. And it's your marketing plan that will identify what gaps you need to fill, maybe at the foundational level. And she was kind of talking about that, where you have, you know, you don't necessarily have a storefront now, you have an e-site, e-storefront, you know, you're online instead. So foundation wise, you're talking about a website, and yes, you need your branding, you need your logo. So that's the kind of thing that when she goes through the marketing plan workshop, you should be able to identify, what do I need to do first? To get out there and start blogging when you don't have your branding set up wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, right, Liliana, is that what?
Actually, yeah, what I will say also is, like, as you say, your business normally 10 years ago started in a different way, and now you're changing your goals and you're changing what you're doing. I think that happens with every business. Like, business evolve with time, and part of what we have to do as business owners is evolve with our business on our marketing efforts, right? So our strategies are going to change, our products maybe are going to change, our services are going to change. And that is why it's very important to every time reinvent ourselves, our business and our marketing in what we need to be fresh and in the moment. So I'm sure that you will do your homework, MJ, and we'll go like step by step on this.
You know me.
Yeah. So and we talked before also about it, and I think it will be very useful to go over the marketing plan. I think that is the first step, because that will help you to get first with which are your goals, which are your objectives, And
Exactly.
from there, what you have to do, or what will be the step out of that. So yeah, just don't get stressed. And you know, nothing is like a fact or law. If something, you do something or in your business and you see it's not working, you can always redo it, or you can always change. That is a good thing on marketing. It's not a fact. It's something that you can just find the formula that fits on your business and on your needs. So
Thank you.
You know, just to add myself, you know, the word perfect kind of intimidates me because, you know,
Sorry.
it's hard to be perfect. And, you know, things change so quickly that, you know, I think when, you know, for me, perfect is you feel confident in what you have out there. And, you know, perfect doesn't mean final, you know, you might be just perfect for today or for the next 3 weeks or 4 months,
yeah.
4 years. And then things evolve. And, you know, most businesses do have an evolution of their marketing. And, you know, a logo doesn't need to be perfect or final either. You know, you might have, you know, it's MJ's tailoring. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly the more of the business, but it's just text and you have something up there on a website. And then, you know, 6 months down the road, you've generated enough revenue to have somebody help you out, make a, you know, a more elaborate one. And it takes literally, you know, 20 minutes to change out some logos today. Whereas once upon a time, I think that was a much bigger task. And, you know, because you're using a lot of print materials and it's more, but, you know, with things nowadays, making changes is really easy. And so don't be intimidated by, you know, thinking that it has to be final. It's never final.
Yeah.
And I know that I did a little homework and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get my business card ready. And so I go and I, you know, toggled up a few things there and I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna work. Oh, I get it. So if I do this, this is the kind of audience I'm gonna get. So don't do that. And for me, the business has evolved into a different purpose. Being sober 26 years, perfect is not in my vocabulary. So it's almost like, I mean, it used to be, and it drove me crazy, and it's like, I don't want things to be like, it needs to be growing. It needs to be alive, you know, this logo, this business, in order for it to be functional and for my customers to be happy and keep coming back.
You know, I think business is a journey. And it's always changing and you are growing with time. So as soon as you are enjoying what you are doing and you are getting profit of that, so that means you are in the right path.
Thank
But
you.
It is what it is. Like, I think any business is a journey. It's not something that you just start and it's like,
Boom.
like a box squared. Yeah. So just
What I do for my business is easier than all of this.
I'm glad that everybody is here, and basically when we plan to put this series together, that was the main reason to do it. It was like to give these ideas to people and make a little bit easier to start a business or to get better in their own businesses. It's not like something that will give you, or we are going to make a big change, but I'm sure they are tools that you are going to find useful and information that is going to be helpful at the end.
Thank you. I'm going to continue with all of the classes. I appreciate this.
That's awesome.
Were there any other questions? I don't see any in the chat, but there's still.
I think we don't have more questions. So, and being 4:06, basically we are like 1 hour since 3:07 that we start.
Good.
So
I know Amy, did Amy have one thing to add? Amy, not to point.
are you still around there, Amy?
Yeah. Before we end, I wanted to mention all of the upcoming events and their dates and that good stuff.
Okay.
So the next one is the marketing plan with Liliana will be presenting that one, and that will be on May 13th, same time at 3. And then we're going to have branding with Liliana and John, and that'll be on May 27th at 3. And then we're going to have writing for marketing with Jill on June 10th. Headshots and bios with Marietta on June 24th. web optimization with Jamie on July 8th, Google My Business with Jamie on July 22nd, LinkedIn with Marietta on August 5th, and email marketing with Jill on August 19th. And you can register for all of those or single ones at southwindsorchamber.com. And I also just wanted to mention, as you saw our Google page, we could definitely use some reviews. So that would be greatly appreciated if you want to go to our page and give us a great review and tell everybody how awesome our marketing bootcamp class is.
All you gotta do is
Like-
ask.
Yeah,
I'd
please.
like to add on if I could. Thank you very much, Amy. I appreciate all of that. And not all of you know, but I'm a town councilor here in town. I work with the mayor, and back when, way back when, 30 years ago, when I moved here and started my business here, the Chamber of Commerce wasn't as, didn't have as many outlooks for businesses. And, there was events like a one-year event or something. And, when I think of starting this business all over again and finding that you guys had these seminars, I feel that that is so important for small businesses to see that you're the Chamber of Commerce, but you're also going to be helping the businesses in the community, not only to be part of the Chamber of Commerce, but so that you are all part of the whole entire community, helping each and every one of us out locally. And I feel that when I saw this online, I was like, now that's what they should be doing. This is great. I see Karan smiling at me.
MK, we're just members of the chamber. We don't work for the chamber. We came together as a group and decided this would be a nice thing to offer. We do get our personal exposure through it, but it's also giving back. But any member of the chamber can come up with a program that will help this business community thrive. That's what the chamber's all about. So,
And I like this, Jill, and I think the reason I had mentioned that was, real quickly, I'm sorry, is that if I'm like I never had a business and I'm like, how do I start a business? And like, I've done research, like going into West Hartford, going to the Small Business Association. I'm telling you, it's like you go to the site and there's so much.
Yeah.
And when I talk to people locally, like I'm talking to each and every one of you, it's almost like how I've been marketing with mine. It's people I trust, it's people locally, it's people I know are giving back to the community. And for me, as a small business owner and in town, which I'm pretty sure will be most of my in-person customers, but it really makes a difference in that network. So thank you, everyone.
I have to just say a little thing before we get it. And it's like being a newbie board member at the chamber. I have to say that in every single board meeting that we have, all the goals of the chamber are to see different ways to support our business and our community. And that's the main focus in every single meeting. And that is how the idea of creating this series came out. It's like what we can do. We are in a pandemic, businesses are struggling. We need to give a plus. We need to give something and to the members and to the community to help overcome all these crises and all these hard times. So you can be sure that I think every single person that is member of the chamber and the different committees and the board of directors and the administrative part with Dorothy and with Amy, everybody is so committed to this community and to the chamber members that we will try to do our best to give the better results and resources that we can, and try to grow and support our South Windsor community. So you can be